Recording in progress.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the City Council meeting, Tuesday, January 20th, 2026. With that, if we could have a roll call, please.
Luther,
Here.
Crow,
Here.
Sutherland,
Here.
Yanko,
Here.
Pickard,
Here.
Schwebs,
Here.
Gentz,
Here.
Solberg,
Here.
Erdman,
Here.
Sommerfeld.
Okay, good. Thank you. We can take it into approval of minutes. If anybody'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes, you can do so at Ryland. Go ahead, please.
Yep, I would make a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting.
Okay, thank you. Is Abigail?
I'll second.
Okay, motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving on to public comments. Public comments is a portion of our meeting where anybody can speak on agenda items for the evening. You can speak for 3 minutes or less. Please sign in at the podium and do give us your name and your address and make sure the microphone is on. At this time, we will open up public comments.
Hello, my name is Chad Schlew and I live at 2103 Jansen Court in Ward 9. I'll be here if there's any questions regarding item 4H. And I do have one comment about 4I. February 28th better not be the coldest day of the year.
All right. Thank you, Chad. Can you turn your microphone on? There you go. Thank you.
There we go. Thanks. Thanks for that introduction and segue. My name is Tina Hanley. I'm speaking on behalf of Stepping Stones at 1602 Stout Road. I respectfully request approval of our special event request and agenda item number 41 for our coldest night of the year event to be held on February 28th, 2026. I will remain in the audience in case the City Council has any questions regarding the event of our proposed event, and I look forward to addressing those. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tina. Okay, public comments is still open. If anybody else would like to speak, please come forward. Blaine?
My name is Blaine Halverson from 334 21st Avenue West.
Can you press your microphone, please?
Oh, sorry. I want to speak briefly on agenda item H concerning the refilling of the seat for Ward 9. First of all, I want to be really clear. This is not at all about Chad. Chad and I went to grade school together, went to high school together. This has nothing to do with about his qualifications, his experiences, his experience, his intentions. This is about process, authority, and public trust. Ward 9 elected Sydney Brennan just 9 months ago in a contested election in which Mr. Schlew was a candidate. And whatever anyone's views of her tenure or his tenure, the voters of that ward got to make a choice at the time. And I think they should get to make that same opportunity, have that same opportunity expressed coming up here in April. Over the past year, many have expressed concerns about transparency and process. It has not been common knowledge that Sydney Brennan even resigned. In that context, appointing someone to replace an elected alderperson, particularly on a framework that is described as a mayoral appointment, could also deepen that mistrust, even for those acting in good faith. Under Wisconsin 17.23, vacancies in alderperson are filled only by the Common Council. There's no statutory authority for a mayoral appointment of an alderperson. The council may appoint and may order a special election or may leave the seat vacant, but the authority to make that decision rests with the council. I don't have any problem with the idea of appointing someone temporarily to fill the seat, but I believe very strongly that there should be a special election concurrent with this spring's election. There's plenty of time to get some candidates and give them the opportunity to run. Chad could run, and anyone else who wanted to run, and the people could still make a choice. And then their consent would be clear and unassailable. I'm confident the council wouldn't want to create a process that could be over scrutinized when a straightforward lawful alternative exists. So I urge you to commit to scheduling that special election, allowing candidates to gather signatures, the ward to make their choice, and then the council could then appoint someone to serve temporarily, whether whether it's Mr. Schlue or another qualified individual. You could do that at the February 2nd meeting to represent Ward 9 for those 2 months before the special election. As I understand it, too, that decision would have to be made about a special election before February 1st, as I understand it. That would be a deadline that we could not do the special election in April. So the approach would honor the statute, respect the voters, help rebuild trust, and reaffirm this council's role as a governing authority under Wisconsin law while ensuring Ward 9 has a representation during transition. Thank you for your time.
Okay, thank you, Blaine. Public comment is open. If anybody else would like to come up and speak, you can do so at this time. Last call for public comments. Okay, we'll close the public comments portion of our meeting and move on with the rest of our business. Under new business, 4A, finalized nonprofit grant program, discussion and possible action. We used to do the grants, everyone, the council knows, we used to have a program subsidy list where we subsidized nonprofits and so forth, and we just determined how much they needed and so forth. We've decided to take a bit of a different approach and do a grant program, a style, so that these individuals could come in and apply for a grant, give us the reasons they want the money and how they would use the money, and then in the end result, give us data and verification that they used it accordingly. That being said, there's a new process. There is a form in your council pack that would be the same form that would show up and so forth. We just need to have a discussion and a possible action on this evening to move this forward. Mr. Schofield, anything I missed, could you elaborate on, please?
Yeah, in your packet, there's both a fact sheet and the application. I think the intent here is to get it out on the street so that we could make some decisions on the actual awards in either late February or early March. So that way we're not too far into the year.
Okay, so I'll open up the floor to council. If anybody would like to support this with a motion, you can certainly do so at this time, or we could have a discussion. Mary? It looks like you're
Looks
poised,
like I'm ready.
right?
Okay. I would make a motion. It seems very thorough, and so I am in favor of this, and I would like to make a motion accepting it as presented tonight.
Okay, Ben? Good motion, thank you. Is there a second to that motion, Rylan?
Yeah, I would second Mary's motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? Lee?
Yeah, I voted against this when it was brought up. Problem I have with it, we were budgeted $50,000. And it says in there, we can give or the maximum in $20,000. So in reality, we could give two 20,000s and a 10,000, and we've given grants to 3 versus what we normally have, 16, something like that.
Well, we were at 280.
No, I meant number of organizations.
Right, but the dollar amount was a lot more too in the subsidy
Yeah,
stuff.
but
Right, I know where you're going.
I'm going to vote for the thing because that's kind of where we're at, but I really think it's very limiting to who we can.
Okay.
And I felt we should just phase it out. If we, in reality, end up with only 3 this year, we're darn near phased it out. So I'm troubled by this.
Okay, and I want to just elaborate just a little bit on what Lee said too. If we get into a situation and the council decides that there's really good applications that deserve more of that, we can look at the contingency fund to readjust the dollar value later on. But as far as when it comes to the budgeting and budget cycle, we had to pick a number. So that's where that number came from. Rylan?
I mean, I kind of agree with Lee, but also, if I remember correctly, in the past, we've had different organizations like the, I can't remember the full name of it, but the cemetery, they, a number of years ago, asked for like $3,000 to $6,000 to help with their repairs and upkeep of the cemetery, which, was well within that, if we get organizations like that are like, well, we need just this, small amount that we're unable to raise other places. Not everybody's asking for, the max. And so it seems like if they're aware that there's a, there's a finite amount that they're not going to go, oh, give us, give us everything you got. That it keeps things, keeps things reasonable and in perspective for the organizations that are potentially asking.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? And we could keep moving. Oh, Matthew?
Yeah, just a comment. I think we have to have something, I think the Shirley Parsons Senior Center, correct me if I'm wrong, I think their entire budget comes from us, and I think they just rent out the place for $1, but the rest of their budget, I think it was 29,000 or 22,000, something like that, all comes from us. So to completely get rid of the program, would cut them off completely. And that's a big thing for our seniors here in the community. So I think we have to have something, and I think this is a good start.
Okay, yes, Randy?
I guess I have problems with the sustainability plan. On number 5 here, that was on the other application too, that we used to use. And people either didn't fill it out, or if they filled it out, it really didn't matter. So I think it's a question that probably has to be on here, because it's not going to be rated if somebody says, oh, I got it, these big plans. So I don't know. I'm not for this at all. I never have been.
Okay, any other discussion? Otherwise, we can take it to a vote. All right, I'd like to call to, do we have a motion?
Yeah, good motion. Second.
Okay, so it's a roll call vote then. Okay, roll call vote. Thank you.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Yanko,
Yes.
Pickard,
Yes.
Schwebbs,
Yes.
Gantz,
Yes.
Solberg,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sommerfeld,
No.
Luther,
Yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go on to the next piece of business. I know this particular program can get tweaked and changed as we move it forward. But being that said, we're going to move on to 4B, Proposed Ordinance 2026-04, an ordinance amending Title 4, Chapter 9, Recycling. And Megan Hines just happens to be here this evening, and she is going to do a little presentation for us. Megan?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, Council. In your packet today, there is an ordinance amendment for Title 4, Chapter 9 of our city code, which is our recycling ordinance. The state DNR has gone through an administrative rule revision process over the last 3 years. It had a pretty large scope. It covered, I think, 4 or 5 administrative rules. The one that we're talking about today influences not just the Wisconsin's recycling law, but our responsible unit program, which the city is the responsible unit, which is a unit of government that is defined by the DNR. So this rule revision went into effect on July 1st, 2025, and then RUs have until the end of April of 2026 to update our ordinances to match the new administrative rules. So the main things that were changed in the ordinance by the state that we need to change our ordinances to match are around multifamily buildings and non-residential facilities. In the previous code, they talked about required them to have adequate recycling, but there was no specificity on what adequate is and no kind of guidance on that. So they added in for multifamily, some very specific guidelines on what is considered adequate recycling. And then on the non-residential side, we're a little bit more vague because there's such a variability between uses of commercial space. So if you think of an office building, what their recycling volume might be compared to, say, a bar. Those are two very different generators of recycling. So they have it more vague to be, making sure that it's an adequate amount to not allow overflowing in between the time of collection of your containers and the time that it's delivered to the processing facility. So while we had this ordinance open, it also was a good time to kind of take a look at the rest of the ordinance and kind of update it to align for best practices. So we did that, updating information about single stream recycling and how we collect our recycling now. And then also to align it with our other utility ordinances as far as our billing rates and how those are set by the council and amended by the council. So adding that in, that instead of having it be an ordinance amendment to change the recycling utility rates that we charge residents, we put in there that the council would have authority to do that via resolution. So that makes that a little bit cleaner process if we were to adjust those rates in the future. With that, I'd take any questions from the council.
I just have one, Megan.
Yeah.
So this not only is for our transfer station, but it really applies to the residents of the city, right? For their their recycling pickups and so forth.
Yes.
Is it combined, both entities combined is the city's responsibility?
Yep. So the city has, because of our size and our population density, we are required to provide recycling for residential customers, which is defined as like a 1 through 4 unit households. And then we are also supposed to ensure and enforce that landlords and property owners, business owners, et cetera, have recycling at their multifamily buildings, their commercial buildings, industrial facilities, et cetera.
And we, when the Dunn County had their transfer station, we were not the, we weren't,
We were not the responsible unit at that time. So we
Correct.
took over being a responsible unit on January 1st, 2021, when the county closed down their program.
right, exactly. And I think we've made huge strides in our transfer station, our recycling program, our collections, our electronic collections and other elements. So, and that you've taken a leadership role on, and I appreciate all the hard work that you have done on that, Megan.
you.
Thank you. Any questions, Rylan?
Yeah, so I guess just for general information on this, like what are the major changes that you might see like outside of, say, an 8-unit apartment building?
So really for the general resident, they're not going to see much for changes.
Okay.
Just on the enforcement side, so if I get a complaint, say that, hey, my landlord isn't providing recycling, or doesn't have enough recycling, say it's full all the time. So I could look now, they have some specific guidelines on like dumpster size. It can be filled in a couple of different ways. A 2-to-1 ratio of no more than 2-to-1 ratio of trash to recycling on like volume by dumpsters, or 20 gallons of recycling per dwelling unit in the building would suffice. And then I think there is an alternative, any other alternative method that makes it so it's not overflowing. Even that, so like if they say they have 2 times a week pickup, they have a smaller container, but it gets picked up twice a week or something. As long as it's not overflowing and there's access for residents to do their recycling, then I can do that. If they're not meeting that, then I can enforce our ordinance and correct that with the property owner.
Okay, so it sounds like basically if there's a problem with overflowing dumpsters, you don't have a lot of teeth in enforcing that, but this
Yeah,
is going
because
to change the situation.
you had to provide adequate recycling. Well, what's adequate? There was no really definition of it in the ordinance before.
Any major changes that might not be noticing in this that you've seen?
I wouldn't say anything major, just kind of more process related changes, pulling out our recycling utility fees instead of having that be in the ordinance and having to go through an ordinance amendment if we want to do those. We've changed it to be by resolution, which is similar to how we have our other utilities like water and wastewater utilities. That's how those are set. So that makes it a little bit easier procedurally and makes it very clear what the process is to amend those rates for future use.
All right, thanks.
Any other questions for Megan on this particular issue? Otherwise, if anybody would like to make a motion to introduce this, Rylan, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I would make a
Or just to,
motion.
not a motion, just to introduce the ordinance.
Yeah, I would introduce this ordinance.
Okay. That being said, would you like a motion to waive the first reading?
Yes, I would make a motion to waive the first reading.
Thank you, sir. Is there a second to that motion? Abigail?
I'll second.
Okay, motion and second made to waive the first reading. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Now, if anybody would like to make a motion to waive the second reading, we can do that as well. Jeff Luther?
Make a motion to waive the second reading.
Okay, is there a second to that motion? Abigail?
I'll second.
Motion been made and seconded to waive the second reading. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And a motion to adopt. Rylan, would you like to?
Yep, I would make a motion to adopt ordinance 2026-04, an ordinance amending Title 4, Chapter 9 of the recycling ordinance.
You got it. That works. Thank you. Randy,
I'll second that motion.
motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And moving on to 4C, proposed resolution 2026-01, a resolution setting recycling utility rates and charges. Megan?
All right, so this is a procedural formality. We just passed the ordinance that gave you the power to set recycling utility rates by resolution. So we are now asking you to set those rates by resolution. In the proposal here, there are no changes to what we currently charge residents at this time. So if you have any questions, I would take them at this time.
Okay. Anybody like to make a motion to support this? You can do so at this time as well. Gretchen?
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed resolution 2026-01, resolution setting recycling utility rates and charges.
Thank you. Is there a second? Eric?
I'll second that.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And for D, proposed ordinance 2026-05, an ordinance amending Title 4, Chapter 5, Solid Waste Site Regulations. Megan?
So this ordinance in your packet is a repeal and recreate of Title 4, Chapter 5, which is our solid waste site regulations ordinance. Since I was looking at the other recycling ordinance, I figured it was time to look at this one. This one has a fair amount of outdated references in there. My favorite one that is rather outdated is that in the code, it said that you cannot bring waste to the solid waste site in clear or opaque bags that were tied shut. We actually really prefer that you tie your bags shut and bring them and not litter. So that's one of the things we removed out of this ordinance to try to update to what we're kind of currently doing and what we have there. We added some definitions and updated some of the definitions. It was a pretty lackluster definition section prior. I think there were only 1 or 2 definitions in it prior. So adding some definitions so we have some clarity and we can all understand what we're talking about in the ordinance. We remove references to active landfill operations. We haven't had an active landfill in the city for over 30 years, and there were many references to when the landfill was an active landfill. And then also remove some outdated responsible unit language that referenced the county as the responsible unit, which is no longer true. We added in some restrictions on certain materials to reflect our current practices of what we don't accept and don't plan to accept at any time in the future. We updated the solid waste permit term to be the calendar year, which is what we've done for years. And then we also, similar to the recycling ordinance, updated the utility rates section to pull that out from an ordinance amendment to setting those rates by resolution. So those are kind of the major changes there. And then added also a section for our solid waste site disposal fees. Those fees the council has previously set, putting that into the ordinance as well to say that you have the authority to set them by resolution as well. So with that, I take any questions.
I don't see any questions. If anybody like to introduce this, we can do so at this time. Matthew Crow.
I'll make the motion to introduce.
You don't have to make a motion, just introduce.
No, just introduce the ordinance, please, to 2026-05.
Thank you. Anybody like to make a motion to waive the first reading? Rylan?
Would make a motion with the first reading.
Mary?
I would second Ryland's motion.
Motion made, second to waive the first reading. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Anybody like to make a motion to waive the second reading? Jeff Luther.
I'll make a motion to waive the second reading.
Thank you. Is there a second to Cody?
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded to waive the second reading. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And then a motion to adopt. If anybody would like to make a motion to adopt the ordinance, we can do so at this time. Abigail.
I make a motion to adopt proposed ordinance 2026-05, an ordinance repealing and recreating Title 4, Chapter 5 of the City Code.
Thank you. Motion's on the floor. Anybody like to second it? Matthew Crow.
Yeah, I'll second Abby's motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor? Signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving on to 4E. Proposed resolution 2026-02, a resolution setting solid waste utility rates and charges. Megan.
So once again, a procedural step here to set the solid waste utility charges by resolution that you just gave yourselves the authority to do this way. Same as for the recycling, there are no changes to the proposed fees at this time.
Thank you. If I'd like to make a motion to support this, you can do so at the time. Gretchen?
I'll make a motion to approve the proposed resolution 2026-02, resolution setting solid waste utility rates and charges.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Cody?
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Moving down to 4F. Proposed resolution 2026-03, a resolution setting solid waste site disposal fees. Megan?
One last procedural step here, and then you'll don't have to listen to me for the rest of the night. So this is for setting the solid waste site disposal fees. You most recently set this last year about this time. So setting this via resolution as well. No proposed changes to any of the fees at this time for this.
Great, thank you. If anybody would like to support a motion, you can. Rylan?
I would make a motion to approve resolution 2026-03, a resolution setting solid waste site disposal fees as presented. And then a quick question after we get a second.
Okay, is there a second to that motion? Abigail?
I'll second Ryland's motion.
Motion made and seconded. Go ahead, Rylan.
I assume that this is for the fees for, like, say you bring a couch in. Okay, just wanted that clarification there as to.
Very good. Any other
what the
discussion?
third one was.
Oh, thank you. Any other discussion? Lee?
I have a question. The construction and demolition materials, is that small loads that go in the compactor? That's not for a big construction thing, is it?
So it typically doesn't go in the compactor. It usually will go in our construction and demolition dumpsters, like where the couches and the open top roll-offs out there. But we're kind of using that pickup truck bed as the volume limiter or whatever. So you can have enough, you can fill your pickup truck bed, and that's the amount we bring, minus shingles. We don't want shingles.
My only comment, when you size it that way, you have big 3/4 ton pickups with wide sides, and then now you got four
Yeah.
Mavericks with small boxes and low sides. So
Yeah.
it's what's a half a load versus a whole load, but that's
Yeah, it's
judgment of the guys down there.
perfect, but it's at least it's better than most people can't think in cubic yards, so it's an easier way to do that than like cubic yards.
Okay, any other discussion? Anybody, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. And thank you, Megan. She's doing a terrific job as our environmental specialist. Is that what you call yourself? So thank you. Okay, moving on to 4G, proposed police department squad purchases. This is a just a proposal to go out and get bids, I believe. David Schofield, do you want to take it from there? I think you know more about it than I do.
Yeah, so the police department is looking to purchase 3 new squads to replace 3 existing squads. This is in the CIP, and it was in the proposed in the budget that was approved back in December. At this time, all they're asking for is permission to go out for bids. They're not asking to actually purchase anything right now. So I would recommend approval of this request.
Thank you, Mr. Schofield. Okay, that being said, if anybody would like to make a motion to approve this, Mary?
I'd make a motion to approve the request from the police department to go out for bids on 3 squad cars.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Lee?
Second the motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Thank you. Moving down to 4H, consider mayoral appointment of Chad Slew as replacement Ward 9 alderperson for the remainder of the present term of office till April of 2027. I know Chad was born and raised in Menomonie, Wisconsin, farm kid, grew up here, graduated Menomonie High School, owns a house in Menomonie, Wisconsin, raised his family here in Menomonie, Wisconsin. He also works here in Menomonie, Wisconsin. He served on the city council prior. We have had this issue in the past. I know Jerry and Jan Traxler both, and others, and so I feel comfortable. He was in the election. He had numerous amounts of votes.
Randy, before you continue, I'd like to make a motion to postpone this vote until February 16th meeting to allow for an opportunity for residents of Ward 9 to submit letters of interest to be the representative alderperson.
Okay, but you're out of bounds there because if you just I would have called on you. Just saying.
I'll second that motion.
Legal.
Just checking post, basically bringing it back to the February 19th meeting.
With also letters of interest coming from other persons, then we can allow other folks to participate.
And then, and then council would make it.
All right.
Yes. If we do that, we can't publish anything. So that would just be word of mouth, I suppose.
Yep, historically, what the council has done in the past, at least what I remember, I believe we've noticed it in the newspaper that there's a vacancy and then ask interested individuals to submit something to the council. And then it gets popped back at a future meeting. I believe we've done that maybe the last 2 times.
So if the timing doesn't work out for February 16th, then whatever works out so that that process can carry out the way it has in the past.
David, do you want to do the proposed timeline then?
You said February 2nd or February 16th? Oh, February 16th, we could do
Oh,
that.
yeah, so
If we
the
submitted
16th
it,
is what I was attending.
if we submitted it Wednesday, it would be next week. The one issue with that, if I may, is that we do have the discussion of ordinance 2026-02 with NSEDS that impacts almost exclusively Ward 9, and there would not be a Ward 9 alderperson in place for that discussion. That's on our February 2nd agenda.
And that has to be on the February 2nd agenda.
There's a public hearing already scheduled for you.
Okay. I do feel that it is really important that Ward 9 has an opportunity to determine and allow for people to comment at this meeting. I have received messages from folks in Ward 9 requesting that there's at least an opportunity to for other folks as well to participate. And again, not against Chad. It's just democratic process, and it's the way that we've traditionally done it.
So just to, I believe you had the motion, Cody had the second on it, that you're both intending that it be advertised out. Okay. Just want to make, if you can make that part of the motion too, please.
The allow residents Ward 9 to submit letters after receiving, or where would I add it? Is advertising for the position. Okay.
And Cody, good with that too.
Okay, any additional discussion on that, Lee?
Yeah, first of all, I think we as council members should be recognized by the mayor before we work something out, but this is a point of order. Could we nominate Chad as an interim council person?
The interim would be if there's a special election that's held. I don't believe that the statute contemplates putting someone in if the council is going to be appointing a new person in the future. Statute has that the council can appoint someone in the interim until the special election would be held. That's not the process that we're talking about right now. We're just saying put it out for advertisement, have it come back for the council, and the council would make a decision on who to appoint at that time. So I would not recommend doing it that way. I would just say bring it back at that February 16th meeting and let the council make a decision at that point. Then it would just sit vacant until then.
Jeff Luther?
Yeah, as long as I've been on the city council, when we've had vacant seats, the process we went through was to advertise the position, let people apply for it, come to a meeting, and present their case on why they should be selected by the council to take that position for the remainder of the, till the 2027 in this case. So I think we should actually stick with that process that we've always followed, and so I'm going to vote to have this publicized and accept application.
Okay. Ryland?
Yeah, I think this question might be mostly for Ben. What are our range of options here? Is as was mentioned by Blaine, having the Ward 9 added to the April ballot an option, or I guess.
So with the timing on it, basically common council can fill the vacancy, appointing a successor to serve the remainder of the unexpired term, which is what we're discussing now, or until a special election is held as ordered by the Common Council. State law specifies no special election to fill a vacancy may be held after February 1st preceding the spring election unless it is held on the same day as the spring election, nor after August 1st preceding the general election unless it's held on the same day as the general election. I know there's timings that might be gates. I haven't looked into specifics on it, but I think we would be getting it would be extremely tight to do that. Something we can look into. I don't have the answer tonight on it, though. I would have to look into it.
Okay. Is it for this kind of situation where the term would be over a year? Is there any common? Okay.
No, it's mainly up to the council on how they want to do it. So as people have said, that's what we've done in the past was advertising it, bringing it back, letting individuals speak on it. And then at the end of the day, it's a council vote and majority vote for the appointment on it.
So what kind of situation would having a special election be more common? Or
just, I mean,
would it just, if we had this happen a month earlier, would that have been?
It would have been easier with the timelines likely on it. Again, I haven't looked into that, so I can't really speak on it. But at the end of the day, it's up to the council and how they want to do it.
Okay, thanks.
I guess my question is how we're going to advertise it. Our official paper is Colfax Messenger. And I subscribe to it because of that, but I wonder how broad an audience this is going to reach. I doubt very many people in Menomonie subscribe to the Colfax paper. So what do we do? Put up signs in the grocery stores and hardware stores and that? How are we going to communicate this?
I know Kate does publicize in different areas. Kate?
Yeah, through the website. We could post it on the website. We could also get Soraya to help us out with some social media messaging.
David Schofield.
I was going to say exactly what Kate just said.
Sounded a lot better coming from Kate.
Lee, I think that's what we've done in the past too, is we posted in the newspaper, posted online on social media and on the website as well, trying to get the word out on it.
Okay, Mary?
Kate, is there a way that we can send like a bullet, something to Ward 9 residents that we have emails for, or, and then, then do a Facebook or city website, but make sure Ward 9 people know that it's going on?
Right, to send out some kind of communication to the residents. Yeah, we could definitely for that. Yeah.
So, Mary, we did just send out a notice for the NSED, proposed NSED 2602. That's got sent to 400, and that was less than half of the ward, I believe. So we'd be looking at like an 800 piece mailing. I think we should stick with just publication in the newspaper, on our website, and on social media.
I was talking more to do it, online or not mailings. I was going to focus electronically how we can get a hold of people in Ward 9. So I don't know if that's possible or not.
I'm going to have to explore that a little more.
First, I want to apologize for interrupting. But as far as I can tell, because I did a little investigation today, I was talking with the county clerk and Kate, that a special election, the only one, we can't do it concurrently with the general election. So April is out. Is that correct? And then, so if we did it in August primary, it will be all the way in August at the special election, but also we could have a special election not on those dates, but to have one would be pretty cost prohibitive for just Ward 9 for a special election with all that entails. And that's why I was choosing this route that also has been used traditionally.
Correct. Yeah, I did not budget for 5 elections this year. 4 is already a lot.
Okay. Mary?
In the past, haven't we, when we've ended up filling the seat that was vacated, it went to the next election of that given seat? It didn't go to the very next calendar election. It went to the when that term would have normally been up.
Right.
And that's
Yep.
what this would be.
Like
It-
when we had, oh, what's his name? We had a college student in Cody's place. Yes, yes. His position sat open for quite some time until Cody came into the scene. So, yeah, that is how we did it.
And that's historically what we've done. It would be an appointment for the remainder of the term, which would be until next year.
Okay. So we have a motion on the floor and a second. Any other, do you want to read back the motion? Kate?
Motion was made by Yanko, seconded by Gantz, and carried to postpone the appointment of Chad Schlu as the replacement Ward 9 alderperson through the remainder of the present term of office in order to allow time to advertise the position to residents of Ward 9.
Thank you. Okay, so,
And that's to be brought back at the February 16th meeting.
okay, and we're going to do a roll call.
Pickard,
Yes.
Schwetz,
Yes.
Gantz,
Yes.
Solberg,
No.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sommerfeld,
Yes.
Yes.
Luther, Crow,
Yes.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Yanko.
Yes.
Okay, moving on. Let's see, we're up to 4I. And, let's see. Yes, consider mayoral appointments to boards and commissions, discussion and possible action. Urban Forestry Board, Liz Osborne, she's a reappointment to term ending in December 2028. And Monica Herman, reappointment to term ending in December 2028. And that would be it for that. So if there's a motion to support those, Rylan?
Yep, I would make a motion to support the mayoral appointments to the Urban Forestry Board of Liz Osborne and Monica Herman. As I both know both personally and feel that that's a good fit for those positions, and
Good. Thank
have
you.
only heard good things about their roles on there.
Great. Thank you, Rylan. Is there a second to that motion? Lee?
I'll second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Moving on to 4J. Consider appointment of the wastewater utility superintendent. Dave Schofield, there was a number of interviews done, and I will let David Schofield elaborate. David?
Yeah, Paul Sturck is retiring after 21 years of service to the city of Menomonie, all as our superintendent. We did advertise this position. We sent it out to the Rural Water Association, the Wastewater Operators Association. We received, I believe, 4 applications. We interviewed 2 individuals. Jason Garcia is the recommended appointment. Jason is a UW Eau Claire grad, has a dual major in biology and chemistry. He spent time over in Manitowoc and Fond du Lac. He's currently the lab supervisor in Fond du Lac. Talked to a number of his references, and they were all glowing. So I would strongly advise approving the appointment of Jason Garcia as wastewater wastewater utility superintendent. If approved, he'll start on February 2nd. Paul has graciously agreed to extend his tour of duty until the 12th, so that they have 2 weeks of overlap to do a nice handoff.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Schofield. That being said, Mary?
I would, although I hate to lose Paul, I would make a motion that we hire Jason Garcia as the new water utility superintendent.
Okay. Is there a second to that motion? Randy?
I'll second Mary's motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any additional discussion? Okay, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Moving on to K, consider of appointment of community services superintendent. Brock is here this evening. He's been with the city a number of years, and I know he was the choice. But Mr. Schofield, do you want to elaborate, please?
Yeah, Dave Frank has been the community services superintendent, I believe, for 4 or 5 years. He is retiring. Actually, he's in Mexico right now, if I recall correctly. So he is using some vacation time prior to his departure. We did put this out internally. We have a number of good internal candidates that I felt would be able to do this position. I've known Brock for a long time. Brock and I went to high school together. Brock is a stand-up guy. He's here if you'd like to grill him on the finer points of community servicing. But I think he'll do an excellent job. So I would strongly recommend the appointment of Brock Merriweather as the community services superintendent. As the mayor did say, he's been with the city for 11 years. He was our electrical worker for all but the last 2 years, and he's been the parks property foreman for the last 2 years.
I guess, Brock, if you could just stand up and raise your hand. Hi, Brock. Meanwhile, if anybody would like to support this motion, somebody can do that at this time. Matthew Crowe.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to approve the appointment of Brock Merriweather as Community Service Superintendent.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Gretchen.
I'll second that motion.
Motion been made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you. Going down to JKL. Special events request for Stepping Stones of Bend County, coldest night of the year to be held on February 28, 2026 on various city streets. If anybody would like to make a motion to approve this, you can certainly do so at this time. Otherwise, Tina is here if we need to ask any questions, but I think it's a pretty simple event and pretty explanatory. Mr. Schofield?
Yeah, there's 2 courses in your packet. One is a 2K course, just kind of looping from the Memorial Student Center up through downtown and back. And then the other one is roughly the same course, except extending all the way out to Stepping Stones. The intent, obviously, is some of the folks that they service know and experience cold weather. And so folks can walk or run 2K or 5K to experience a little bit of it. So as the mayor mentioned, the Tina is here if you have any questions.
Thank you. Anybody like to support this with a motion? You can certainly do so at this time. Abigail.
I would like to make a motion to approve the special event permit for the coldest night of the year on February 28th, 2026 as presented, contingent upon receipt of insurance.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Lee.
Second the motion.
Motion made and seconded. Any additional discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We do not have budget transfers, at least we didn't. David, not yet? Okay, still? Okay, good. Mayor's report, the only thing I wanted to mention was March 12th is the water conference at UW Stout, and if you'd like to sign up and put your name on the sheet, David got the sheet there for anybody in the city council who'd like to sign up for the March 12th water conference. That's all I had this evening for a mayor's report. I'm going to go around the room. Cody, Mary, Island, Randy, back over here, Jeff, Matthew, Eric, Gretchen.
Well, I'm gonna break. Stout starts back up again next Tuesday.
Okay.
So
Welcome back.
I'll do that.
Great. Abigail.
Yeah, so this weekend, particularly Friday, we have some incredibly cold temperatures coming. If you don't have to leave your house, don't. And if you do, I highly recommend and urge people to have like an emergency kit in their car with some non-perishable, doesn't need to be kids snack items, blankets, hats, extra mittens, etc. You never know when something's going to happen to your car and you're going to be stranded somewhere cold. So just be careful.
Are you talking from experience?
Maybe there's a 100% chance that my husband and I were stranded on 94 for 3 hours on Monday. So, yep. So luckily I had snacks and a full tank of gas. So be careful, be safe, make good choices.
Good. Thank you, Abigail. Lee, Kate, Mr. Schofield, Soraya, Ben, I have nothing else. Thank you. We're going to move on with the rest of our meeting. Claims. There is a revised list on the in front of you this evening. So if anybody would like to make a motion to Mary.
I would make a motion to approve the revised list of claims as presented.
Thank you. Is there a second to that motion? Jeff Luther,
I'll second.
motion made and seconded to approve the claims list. Any discussion? All in favor, or roll call vote, please?
Schweppes,
Yes.
Gantz,
Yes.
Stolberg,
Yes.
Erdman,
Yes.
Sommerfeld,
Yes.
Luther,
Yes.
Crow,
Yes.
Sutherland,
Yes.
Yanko,
Yes.
Pickard.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. And that moves us down to licenses, the normal license list. Pretty slim. Abigail,
I make a motion to approve the normal license list as presented.
thank you. Eric, oh, I thought you had your hand up there.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded. All right, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, and motion to adjourn. If anybody'd like to make that motion to adjourn, Abigail?
I move to adjourn.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Cody with a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, thanks, everybody. Have a great evening and stay warm.